This is a bombshell, folks. The House Oversight Committee in the House of Representatives got its hands on Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday book, the one that Donald Trump sent Jeffrey Epstein, the letter that Trump claimed he never sent. Well, the House Oversight Committee got a copy of the birthday book from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. It fully corroborates the reporting by the Wall Street Journal. It shows that Donald Trump did indeed send the letter to Jeffrey Epstein exactly how it was described in the Wall Street Journal article. Donald Trump did the doodle of the naked woman on the birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein. Trump's signature was in the pubic region. Let me show you the actual letter. Pull it up right here. You can see the letter. I'm going to read it for you so you can see it. That is indeed Donald Trump's signature. And you will recall that Donald Trump has been on tape saying, absolutely, I've never sent that. I don't do doodles. I don't do drawings. Trust me. Donald Trump sued the Wall Street Journal for billions of dollars, claiming that he did not send that letter. MAGA Mike Johnson and J.D. Vance were out there saying, you have to trust Trump. He did not send that letter. No way was it possible. He would never do such a thing. Well, we have the letter. And of course, this shows what we talk about all the time. He lies about everything. Of course, he's all over the files. Of course, he's covering up his involvement. Of course, that's the reason why he's saying this is a Democratic hoax. Of course, that's the reality. But hopefully this drives this home even more. Hat tip to the new ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, Democratic Congressmember Robert Garcia, who since he took charge of the House Oversight Committee, it's been an entirely new ball game, folks. He's been leading the Democrats to be aggressive, to push back, to get these subpoenas out, to cut through the obstruction. It's been a whole world of a difference. So earlier today, Congressmember Robert Garcia posted, House Oversight Democrats just received the Epstein birthday book and additional documents from the Epstein estate. More soon. Then shortly thereafter, the House Democrat Oversight Committee posts the following. By the way, the Republicans didn't post it. The House Dem Oversights posted it. Here it is. We got Trump's birthday note to Jeffrey Epstein that the president said doesn't exist. Trump talks about a wonderful secret the two of them share. What is he hiding? Release the files now. So here it is. Exactly what the Wall Street Journal reported. You see the letter that Donald Trump sent to Epstein for his 50th birthday. It's written like this in a voiceover, like a script. Voiced over. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, it goes on to say, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Donald J. Trump, signed Donald Trump right there. Now, what was their wonderful secret? What were their enigmas that never age? This was right during the time period that Epstein was leading his pedo-sex trafficking ring, which Donald Trump now claims is a total hoax. And we should not believe the victims, Donald Trump says. This is just something coming from the Democrats, Donald Trump says. Meanwhile, at that time period, Donald Trump said that Jeffrey Epstein was a great guy who likes women on the younger side. Donald Trump also sent Epstein a signed copy of Trump's book in 1997 called The Art of the Comeback. And it says, to Jeff, you are the greatest, Donald. And so let's take a look right here. This is shortly after the Wall Street Journal story broke. You have MAGA Mike Johnson on July 18th, 2025, saying the president and I talked about these ridiculous allegations from the Wall Street Journal this morning. He said it's patently absurd. He's never drawn such a picture. Here's MAGA Mike, July 18th, 2025. Play this clip.
Sirens on drugs. Woo, woo, woo. because someone drew in 2003, might have drawn a picture of a body letter, before the guy even, all the real info hadn't even been out at that point, I don't think, about this guy.
The president and I talked about that ridiculous allegation this morning. He said it's patently absurd. He's never drawn such a picture. He's never thought of drawing such a picture. And he said, did you see the language of this bogus supposed communication or card or something I supposedly sent to Epstein? He said, I don't talk like that. I don't think like that. They're literally making things up. And he's so frustrated by it. And he's going to wind up, I think, suing some of the media outlets that had put all this out there because they informed them that it was totally contrived. So, look, the president is the most maligned and attacked political figure in the history of American politics. There's no question about it. But he's also the most resilient. And you see at the same time, his approval ratings are skyrocketing. CNN had a story, I think, a day or two ago. He was at 90% approval rating. There's never been a president that high. So the more that they attack him, the more the American people see through it.
Now here's Donald Trump, July 28th, 2025, saying, I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women. Play the clip.
Do you think that drawing, I think I heard you say something the other day, that the drawing that was the subject of the Wall Street Journal report.
I don't do drawings. I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings. Sometimes people say, would you draw a building? And I'll draw 4 lines and a little roof, for a charity stuff. But I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women, that I can tell you. They say there's a drawing of a woman, and I don't do drawings of women. And also, Epstein was always a very controversial guy. I was at a very high position, pretty much all my life. In all fairness, I've been doing this for a long time. I had the top show on television. I had the #1 bestsellers. I had everything, right? And I was a very successful business guy. He was a very controversial. Who would do a controversial drawing? Now, with that being said, they say there were many letters done by many people, and many big people, big successful people. But I just don't. When you talk about files, I just keep going back, and other people too. Even the enemy says this thing is not correct, because if we had it, we would have used it on the guy. It's a bad issue. They say it's a good issue for Trump. Do you know that my poll numbers are up 4.5 points?
This was J.D. Vance's post right around July 17th, July 18th, in response to the Wall Street Journal story about the birthday card for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday. And then J.D. Vance goes, forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullshit. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is the letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? Yeah, we all believe it. That's what he sounds. He's a sexual predator, okay? He's a sexual abuser. It should be noted as well that today, the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit upheld the verdict by E. Jean Carroll against Donald Trump for defaming his sexual assault victim. E. Jean Carroll upheld the $83 million verdict. So yes, JD, on the day where that happened and where the Second Circuit Court of Appeals said Donald Trump's conduct was particularly egregious, yeah, I absolutely believe it. J.D. Vance goes on to say, the contention, which is pretty clear if you just read what I said, is that it's bogus for the Wall Street Journal to publish a hit piece without showing us the letter. I have no idea if the book exists. Wall Street Journal won't show it to us. I have no idea if the letter exists. Wall Street Journal won't show it to us. What I find absurd is the idea that Donald Trump was writing poems to Epstein, and I find it equally absurd that a major American paper would attack the President of the United States without revealing the basis for the attack. We all know what's going to happen. They're going to dribble little details out for days or weeks in an effort to assassinate Donald Trump's character. They won't show us this book or allow us to refute it until they've wrung every bit of fake news out of the story, and everyone will just move on from the fact that Wall Street Journal is acting like a Democrat super PAC. It's disgraceful, and it's why the president sued. Well, he's going to lose that lawsuit. We already know in connection with that lawsuit, Donald Trump caved. He said he wanted Rupert Murdoch's deposition and then paused that Discovery has stayed right there as they're trying to work out a backroom deal. Seems pretty clear to me that's what's taking place. And what actually happened was after the Wall Street Journal story dropped, I believed, and I think the Trump regime believed as well, it was someone in Ghislaine's world that had a copy that leaked it in order to get Donald Trump's attention. Trump then sends his former criminal defense attorney, the number 2 at the Department of Justice, Todd Blanche, to meet with Ghislaine in her Tallahassee maximum security facility where she was serving a 20-year sentence for being convicted of child sex trafficking. They then move her, after granting her immunity, to a minimum security facility in Camp Bryan, Texas, which is like the most desired prison camp to be in, and that's where she's at right now, as Donald Trump is dangling a pardon in front of her, and all because Donald Trump is trying to cover this up. As a reminder as well, Donald Trump was asked a few months ago, were you ever briefed about your name being in the Epstein files? He lies and says, nope, he was never briefed. We know he was briefed. He lies about everything. He was briefed that his name, back in May, his name appears multiple times. It's probably appears in a very, very serious negative sense. It's going to be really bad for him. This is why he ordered that his name be redacted and removed. Of course, that's what's happening. Here, play this clip.
No, I was never briefed. No.
Did you ask how? What are you hoping Todd Blanche interviewing Elaine Maxwell? What are you?
Now, last week when the president of Poland was at the White House, Donald Trump said that I understand that the Department of Justice was subpoenaed by the House of Representatives to get all of the Epstein files. He goes, we've turned over everything. We've turned over thousands of files. We're fully compliant. There's nothing else for us to do. It's a Democratic hoax. We need to move on. It's not a Democratic hoax. It's a sex trafficking ring where Ghislaine Maxwell was found guilty in a federal court of law. We know that billionaires are being covered up for by the regime right now, and we want the files released. Anyway, here's what Donald Trump said. Play this clip.
Nobody's going to talk about, because they're going to talk about the Epstein, whatever. I understand that we were subpoenaed to give files, and I understand we've given thousands of pages of files. And I know that no matter what you do, it's going to keep going. And I think it's enough, because I think we should talk about the greatness of our country and the success that we're having. I think we're probably having, according to what I read, even from 2 people in this room, we're having the most successful 8 months of any president ever. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what we should be talking about, not the Epstein hoax.
Remember when the victims were on Capitol Hill at the same time Donald Trump was defaming them? That's what Donald Trump does. He defames sexual assault victims. The victims were asked, well, what's your response to Donald Trump saying it's a hoax? Here's what they said.
Listen, I don't want to send a direct message to him. I'm already scared enough. Yeah, just pass the vote. Listen to us. This is not a hoax. Like, it's not going to go away. And like I said on my speech earlier, we're not going to be silenced anymore. We will be speaking moving forward. Wherever we need to be, we will be, and we need to pass this.
Go ahead. Now, Michael Wolff, Trump's former biographer, someone who was potentially going to be Jeffrey Epstein's biographer. He interviewed Epstein multiple times, has about 100 hours of audio tape of Epstein. Michael Wolff was asked, what do you think the secret is in that letter at that time when Donald Trump saying, our little secrets, enigmas never age? At that time, Wolff believed, based on what he was told, that Epstein and Trump were sharing a young person together. Not sure if it was a girl or a woman, but someone very young who they were both with at the same time, who they would talk about passing from house to house, back and forth as a girlfriend is what they said. And I'll just let Wolff say it in his own words. Here, play this clip.
The birthday letter that Donald Trump apparently wrote for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, and this idea that they shared a wonderful secret. What do you think he's referring to?
I think that he is referring to the girlfriend that they shared at that point in time, 92, 93. So there was a woman, and as far as I know, she's not underage, but who they literally shared, who literally went back and forth between these two guys.
And she went back and forth in the same bed with the two of them. Was it a threesome, or she was dating both of them separately?
I don't know the mechanics. I know that during the same period, and they openly. This wasn't hidden from either one. They openly shared this particular woman that she went out with both of them at the same time, and they both understood that.
And also, Michael Wolff said that Jeffrey Epstein showed him photos of topless girls sitting on Donald Trump's lap by Epstein's pool. One of them showed Donald Trump with a stain on the front of Donald Trump's pants, with 3 or 4 of these young girls laughing and pointing at it, unclear what their ages were. Here, play this clip.
And I've said before that Epstein used to bring out this set of pictures. There were about a dozen snapshots, and among them, there are at least 3 that I remember. 2 of topless girls sitting in Trump's lap around Epstein's swimming pool, and then one with a stain on the front of Trump's pants, with 3 or 4 girls laughing and pointing at it. So I have seen those pictures.
So what's your best guess as to where they are?
Well, I'm my best guess is that Epstein kept them in the safe. The safe was emptied out by the FBI. Where are those pictures?
Well, there you have it, folks, a blockbuster. And let me say this again. This is a testament to the work of the newly energized Democrats in the House of Representatives, led by Democratic Congressmember Robert Garcia of the House Oversight Committee. He's now the ranking member. Remember, he won that election to become the ranking member for the Democrats, and he's been pushing this forward every single day. Subpoenas to the DOJ, continuing to follow up. Subpoenas for Ghislaine Maxwell, continuing to follow up. Subpoenas to the Epstein estate, continuing to follow up. There we have it, folks, and I hope that was helpful and comprehensive, putting all of those receipts and data points all together, as we always do here on the Midas Touch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers together.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.